Hello, this is Jamie Magridge. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. I don't know if you can see the detail on the background there. There it is. And this is using Happiness Abounds, the coordinating dies, which are the Blooming Happiness dies. And I use this cover die, which is stitched greenery die. That's what I use to emboss the white layer. Okay, so I have a scrap of white. I have a 1/2 inch, I think it's 4 1/4. Yeah, by 4 1/4 of granny apple green. I have a 3/4 inch by 4 1/4 of black. 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white that I've embossed with that embossing folder. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see it on my camera, but I have a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch piece of granny apple green, piece of black 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, and my card base, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored and folded at 4 1/4, and that's thick. You could use a black card and then just put a white layer inside it. That would work as well, but I liked all the different layers. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is do our stamping. Oh, we're also going to be using a few blends. I've got Real Red and Flirty Flamingo, Mossy Meadow, and Daffodil Delight. The only ink we're using is Memento. So we'll go ahead and stamp. Excuse me. Go ahead and stamp one flower. Doesn't really matter how. I'm just trying to get the most space on this little piece. But one large flower. I'm using this smaller one, this one here, and then these leaves. So I need 2 of the smaller flower. Oh, I've got ink on there somehow. I've got it on my finger. Okay, and then I'm going to need 3 of the leaves. And this scrap is 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. Yeah, 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. It was just a scrap, but I wanted to make sure it would fit through my. Oops, I need this still. Through my mini machine. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment just about in the middle on this granny apple green strip. Perfect. Okay, so we're done with the stamping. Okay, so now let's move these aside. We're going to do a little bit of coloring. Now there's no right or wrong with these color. You can either do the dark where the petals are overlapping and lighter on the edge. For this particular one, I did opposite. I did dark on the outside and went to light on the inside. As long as you have a contrast between your edges, you'll be able to tell what petals are. So I started with the dark Real Red, and on the outside edge of these petals I just put a little dark Real Red. Now I ignored all these little flip over parts. Those will be light. You don't have to be super careful. I'm just adding a little bit of darkness. I did do a little bit there. And like this petal here that's got it on both, I put a little dark there as well. This one little petal that's in the back I just did mostly dark. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for these ones. Just around the top of the outside edge. This one I did mostly dark. Go ahead and do these all at once. Okay, then I came in with my light real red, and I started where the dark was, and I just flicked out a little bit, went over the top of the dark and blended down just a little bit farther. Hey buddy, what you doing? Go on now. You go play? Good boy. And again on these, I just went over the dark a little bit. Down into the petal a little bit. Like kind of scratchy strokes. Almost done with this color. I should have just done one of each and then had the other ones done, but it doesn't take that much longer. So, okay, then I came in with the dark flirty flamingo, and I repeated that. Some of them are not going, this color I used on all the, actually I think I used the light on all these flipped over parts. I didn't come in with the light and just color in everything else of the light flirty flamingo. I didn't color the center because I'm going to do that yellow. Okay, then I came in with the, that's almost out of ink, that light one, with the dark flirty flamingo, and blended the two areas together because they didn't blend very well. Because they're too far apart in color. Make sure you go over the color that's in below it, or above it, or whatever, the darker colors, so that you get a little bit of blending in there. You might have to go over it a couple times, but I'm going to come back in with this light. And I'm going to just do a little bit of flicking just to get that to blend just a little bit better. So there's not just a line. Okay, a little bit here. And then one more time with the dark flirty flamingo. Alright, now I'm going to take, oops, let's put the cover on this, the dark daffodil delight. I'm going to do the center. I'm going to go out just a little bit where those little whiskies, I think they're called stamens. A little bit over there. Okay, now for the leaves, I took the, what is this, dark daffodil delight. Put some dark daffodil delight on the leaves. Just like a line of it. Then I took the light mossy meadow. I colored it in, basically over the whole leaf. Try to stay in the lines. Okay, then I came in with the dark. I just added a tiny little bit of dark down here at the bottom. A little bit higher up on one side than the other. I came back in. I think I came back in with the yellow. Added that yellow a little bit. Just layering colors. They're transparent colors, so that you're going to see a little bit of the color on from the other one below it. And then I'm coming back in with the light mossy meadow. There you go. Now we're going to cut them out with the matching dies. Move these out of the way. Alright. We're going to put our base plate. Our sketchy, the scratched up die cut plate. Bring in our dies. We need this one, and this one, and this one. And I am going to bring in some Post-it note tape because they really need to stay in place. Okay, so let's line one up. Got a piece of Post-it note. Just realized I forgot to color the stems of these flowers. So I'm going to move this one. I can't cut that one at the same time as the other one. It gets in the way. Okay. I'm going to put my top plate on. And I'm going to run that through the machine. Okay. Careful when you're pulling your tape off. It's Post-it note, so it usually doesn't harm it, but see, there's that one. This one moved a little bit, but oh no, it didn't. It didn't move till afterwards. Okay, these little ones I need to color the stems on, but it's just one little quick little dab, so okay. One more leaf here to cut out. Right. Alright, those are our pieces. They came out nice. So now we can assemble this card. It's really quite simple. I'm gonna, oh, I forgot to color those stems, so let's do that real fast. Just grab the dark green. I'm just gonna do a quick swipe down that stem. Alright. Now one of the small flowers and the large flower is going to get dimensionals put on the back of it. So let's go ahead and do that. Just put one in the center of that one. Okay. We're going to take and adhere this Best Wishes, the Granny Apple green strip, to the black strip. I'm just using my wet glue. It should be the same length. I just want to make sure the spacing top to bottom is the same across. Okay. This is going to get mounted here, about a ½ inch from the bottom. Let's go ahead and mount this to the green layer first, because this is longer. There should just be like a 1/16 of an inch. Alright, we're going to go ahead and mount this on here. It's going to hang off a little bit, so and again it's about ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. And it's hard to make sure it's straight, so I'm gonna, let's line it up on here. Make sure it's the same distance. Come on, move. It's 3/4 of an inch because it was 3 lines. Okay, so as long as this is straight on this line and the bottom of the strip is on the, it's straight. Okay, we're going to go ahead and mount this to the black layer as well, since we need to be able to trim those if they're too long. See, this one's hanging off just a hair. I didn't get it quite centered side to side, so that's fine. I'm going to bring in my long-handled scissors, and I'm going to tap that edge against the side, keep it flush against that side, and just snip that off. Alright, now let's arrange these flowers. I want this one to be down here, like that. These are going to go up here. The popped one at the top, this one's going to go here. I'm going to put one leaf down over here. I want these a little bit closer to the edge. One of these leaves here, and this leaf here. Okay, so let's start by putting this one on. Okay, so add this popped one up. It's stuck. Add some glue to the back of this one. Tuck it in there. Oops. Add some glue to the back of our leaves. Let's tuck this one in here. Tuck this one here. Oh my goodness. And this one I want the glue up towards the top. That under there because it's sitting on this banner, which is already 2 layers high. There we go. Now this will get glued to the front of our card. There we go. There's the card we just made together. Here's one I did previously. Well, thank you so much for watching me today at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.